Welcome to another edition of McReynolds Rundown. We just made our one annual visit to Dover Motor Speedway. Even though it took to Monday through a rain delay to get this 400-mile race in, it did not let us down. So what are my overall thoughts on the race at Dover? The storylines truly were endless. We had 13 cautions for 75 laps. We had 4 drivers that each led over 50 laps, and not only the racing for the lead, but racing throughout the top 5, the top 10. You had the untimely caution that took Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman kind of out of the equation, and a huge mistake by the pit crew of Denny Hamlin. But at the end of the day, our most popular driver, Chase Elliott, finally gets his first win of 2022, his first win since Road America last July, and his first win on the oval since Phoenix in November 2020. You can never go wrong with a Chase Elliott win. Well, this topic I'm excited to reflect on, being back in the broadcast booth with Mike Joy and Clint Boyer this past weekend at Dover Motor Speedway. You know, I did a race with Mike and Clint back at the dual races in February down at Daytona and really enjoyed it. I felt like we had good chemistry and I felt like we had a lot of good flow. But just to be back at the racetrack, there is no substitute for being at that racetrack. I couldn't wait to walk in the garage area on Saturday morning and talk to crew chiefs and engineers and engine guys and drivers, but to be able to go in the broadcast booth and do something that I did for 15 years, and I did all those years with Mike Joy, it absolutely meant the world to me. Yeah, I enjoy all the opportunities that Fox NASCAR gives me, being here in the studio, but there's just no substitute for being at the track, being at the booth, and hopefully I'll get to do it again. Well, I think this is an ongoing topic, especially considering we got rained out on Sunday and had to go back on Monday. And you think about it, Dover Motor Speedway, Pocono, Michigan, Talladega, Loudon, New Hampshire, these are tracks that do not have lights. So should all tracks have lights to prevent early postponements? Being there, if we'd have had lights, it would have not done any good whatsoever, because even well into the evening, just about dark time, there was still a mist. It just was not going to dry up. And think about it, we only go to Dover once a year. So I think for them to make the investment of putting lights in to just be there for insurance, I think that would be a huge investment. But I do think this. I think what we do need to look at some of these tracks I mentioned that do not have lights is maybe just a little earlier start time, maybe going back to about 1 o'clock. There's still no guarantee. You can't always chase weather forecasts, but maybe that's something we need to look at in the future. Told you many times, this is my favorite part of the McReynolds Rundown, a fan question. This week it comes from Jeff Woodard of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey Larry, why do you think the racing was more enjoyable compared to years past at Dover? Great question, because again, we only go there once a year, and maybe that's added to the excitement. It's more exciting when you only go there once a year. I just think the unknowns, the unexpected of the next-gen car for the first time at the Monster Mile. But I'll say this, even with the crowd being diluted, going back there on Monday after the rain delay on Sunday, that's more people than I can remember there for the last few years on a Sunday. Just the energy and the excitement all weekend long, the storylines, the comers and the goers. And think about Chris Buescher sitting on the pole, top finishing Ford, finishing 8th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he has not even had a top 20 since Auto Club Speedway way back at the beginning of the season. He finishes 2nd. So just the storylines, the comers and the goers, and no one driver, one team dominating that race. I think that just added to the energy and the excitement. So submit your questions to @NASCAR on Fox on Twitter. Use hashtag McReynolds Rundown. This time we're going to go to the granddaddy of them all, Darlington, the lady in black. We love going to Darlington, and guess what? It's Throwback Weekend. We'll see you next week on McReynolds Rundown.
Hey race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox news, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.